miss those times. I miss when they were so great and we went on that vacation and everything was so peachy. And you want that again, because in your mind, you can create whatever situation you want in your mind. And it sounds great, depending on how many calories you've had. If you're having some sort of, I don't know, some caffeine binge at the time and you're feeling good or whatever, you can start feeling really good, reminiscing and having the nostalgia. And then you forget the truth. You forget that they were sleeping with 2 or 3 people behind your back. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kira. Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Thanks for showing up to the show. I've said many times on the show about becoming indifferent to the narcissist X. I've talked about many times how it's not about harboring those feelings of hatred. It's not about seeking any type of revenge on the narcissist, any type of vengeance towards your psychopathic abuser. It's about pursuing the path that will ultimately lead you to becoming indifferent towards the narcissist. And that path it's the narrow path. It's not the path of least resistance sometimes. Sometimes it takes hard work, right? But it's hard work because it's going against the dopamine addiction that we tend to have for the narcissist after the toxic relationship comes to an end. That it is an addiction, really, but it's like you just can't accept that all this happened so fast and left you in such a place that you're not yourself anymore. You've lost your love of basically the things that you were in love with most of your life, and suddenly you just have no interest in doing anything. Getting up in the morning is like, why even bother? You just can't believe that. But you want to talk about the narcissist? Sure, we can talk about the narcissist all day. That I have no problems with that. You have every desire in the planet to continue talking about that and ruminating and thinking about it and overthinking about it and stressing about it, right? No problems. You want to go to the beach? Nah. You know, want to go out to dinner? Want to go out to a show? Want to go out to a game? Nah. Hey, you want to talk for 4 hours about what the psychopath X did? Sure, let's go, right? That's the state of mind that victims of narcissistic abuse, survivors of narcissistic abuse, dwell on, right? We dwell on that space where the only thing that gets our attention, the only thing that we have any sort of passion about is talking about the narcissist. And you know what? I was there. That's what I did. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do. Be talking to my mentor as much as I could, right? And the friends that would listen as much as I could, just repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Frustrated that I would never get that feeling of that satisfaction. You know, when you ponder something enough and you're like, that's the answer. Yes, I got it. You know, when you forget somebody's name or you forget a word, you're looking for a word. What's that word I'm looking for? And you know, you're thinking, it's in the tip of my tongue. It's in the tongue. And then bam, you get it and you're like, got it. Whew! Your system gets flooded with serotonin and you move on to the next thing and that's it. You never think about it again. But when you're ruminating over the narcissistic situation, no matter what, no matter how you spin it, you tell the story backwards, you start at the beginning, you work yourself back, you skip to the future, you skip to the end, no matter how you tell it, no matter what language you speak it in, You're never going to get that sense of fulfillment. It just doesn't happen. That's why the rumination sucks, because it's just over and over and over again, and you're never satisfied. You're never going to get those answers. It's like your brain has been completely short-circuited. Your cognition is a mess. Everything's a big mess after that. So sometimes what helps is anger. I know a lot of people in this community cannot feel anger. And you need anger, but you need anger to help you move on to the next stage. It's very temporarily, right? You're not going to use that anger to do some dumb, stupid shit, right? You're going to use that anger to keep you focused on the truth of what happened. Hey, this person lied and cheated, right? This person was triangulating me. This person stole from me, right? This person abused me. Whatever the case may be in any type of toxic relationship, remember the things that really happened, right? The unacceptable, abusive patterns of behavior and what they put you through. Remember that, because you're also going to remember the good times. And those good times, right? Those good times come, and when you're vulnerable, that's when you're like, oh, I miss those times. I miss when they were so great and we went on that vacation and everything was so peachy. And you want that again, because in your mind, you can create whatever situation you want in your mind. And it sounds great depending on how many calories you've had. If you're having some sort of, I don't know, some caffeine binge at the time and you're feeling good or whatever, you can start feeling really good, reminiscing and having the nostalgia. And then you forget the truth. You forget that they were sleeping with 2 or 3 people behind your back. How did you forget that? Or why don't you want to focus on that? Oh, Keita, I don't like to focus on the negative. I get it. And I'm with you. The more you focus on the negative, the more you attract it. The more you vibrate in those negative spaces. However, I'm not saying dwell on it, but you have to remember the truth, the facts. This is what they did. This is what they did. This is what they did. Oh, and because they did that, this relationship is over. And because they did that, even though I may still be attracted to them, even though I may miss their touch and miss their kiss and their caress and miss the companionship and miss those memories, even though that's also true, what else is true? That's all the bad shit they did. The bad shit that nobody signs up for. Nobody signs up for infidelity. Nobody signs up for narcissistic abuse. And that's what you have to remember. And to use the anger to help you move on to the next stage in your recovery. To use that anger to block and delete anything that you have on your phone of them, making sure that they have no way of contacting you. Making sure, well, there's always a way, but you want to do the best you can, right? To close, right, all avenues that they may return and hoover at your most vulnerable moment, because it's almost like they have some sort of intuition themselves where once you start either thriving, they're going to come back, right, to hook you again and destroy you again. Or when you're at your most vulnerable, they'll show up. Your traumatized brain is going to remember, oh, that monster is the one that makes me feel better. Even though they're my abuser and my tormentor, they're also the ones that can make me feel better the moment they give me any piece of breadcrumb. That's when you have to remember, oh, that sounds fucked up. That makes no sense. That's not healthy. And get pissed off, even if it's just for a short amount of time. So you can break that pattern. Break that pattern that's leading you towards maybe calling them again, contacting them again, or entertaining them again. Because you know how it starts. oh, let's meet up for coffee. And then coffee turns into, okay, we can exchange emails. And then emails turns into texting. And then texting turns into phone calls. And before you know it, they're back at your house, you're knocking boots again. And before you know it, hey, who's that? Who's that person texting you? What? And the same thing happens again. So I highlighted a comment that came in from Encyclopedia of True Crime and the Unknown. You guys remember the encyclopedia? Remember we used to have those heavy books in our bookshelf to help us write reports. Now we have ChatGPT. Anyway, 3 years free. No contact for 3 years. That's awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations. The ex-narcopath still tries to hoover by randomly showing up. He's blocked on the phone, social media, etc. He showed up this past Saturday and I didn't acknowledge his existence. He stood outside for 40 minutes. I guess he thought I'd eventually care. I felt nothing. That's the key to living your best life after these relationships. You can't feel love for them. You can't feel hate for them. Those emotions mean that they still have some control over you. You have to feel nothing towards them. Not positive, not negative, just neutral. Everyone, keep moving forward in your healing, no matter how much it hurts now. And the hopelessness you feel, it does pass. And that is absolutely true. That is 100% correct. I remember how angry I used to be. I remember how much I hated my psychopath ex many moons ago. And I can tell you that that hatred is gone. Completely. It's been obliterated from my system. I could care less what they're doing. I don't miss them. I don't hate them. If I were to run into her in the middle of the street now, I don't have to do anything. It's like, I remember, sometimes you run into people from high school and you see them, they're with their family or whatever at a restaurant or some shit like that, and you see them and you have no desire to go up and say hi, and nothing bad ever happened. You guys used to hang out, you guys used to do things together, maybe you used to party, whatever. You shared the same classes, you helped them with their homework, they used to come to your house, you were friends, whatever. And it's been 20 years. You see them at a restaurant. You just have no interest. Like, what are you gonna, hey, remember me? You just don't feel like even doing that, because of course they remember you. You guys were close, you guys were tight. And for whatever reason, you guys grew apart and you all went your separate ways, and it's okay, but you just don't want to talk to them. You know that feeling? That's ultimately where you want to be with your narcissist ex. Where if you ever see them, you're no longer afraid, you're no longer angry, you have no interest. It's like they're there and it's like, oh shit, what time is it? And you get distracted. Like it's something like that. It's someone's like, hey, isn't that your ex over there? What? Oh shit, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I feel like making a sandwich. And you just, that's it. It's gone. That's indifference. It's like, oh yeah, you notice it. Because we notice things all the time. We go to the store and we notice all sorts of stuff. It doesn't mean that we put everything we notice in the cart. You notice it, oh shit, yeah, maybe one day. One day I'll try those cookies. Yeah, not today. And then it's forgotten. You know how when people cut you off in the expressway and you get all pissed off, right? And then you come home and then you're telling everybody about it. Oh, this motherfucker and this and that, and it's like, and that person that cut you off, didn't give you the time, or they didn't give you even 5 seconds worth of their attention. You don't even exist to them. And here you are hours later, still talking about the asshole that cut you off because they were, maybe they had to go to the bathroom or something, and they were stuck in traffic and they were just trying to, get out and swerve out of an exit or something. You don't know what's going on. But here you are, letting them ruin your day, and they don't even remember you. Because that's the case with a lot of these narcissists, right? I'm not talking about the obsessive compulsive ones that can't let you go. I'm talking about the ones that really don't give a fuck about you. And once you're discarded, they don't give you the time of day. They do not entertain you. You do not exist. You are completely dead to them. And that's where you want to ultimately be as well. Not dead to them, but they have to be dead to you. Yeah, it's not about hatred. It's not about vengeance. It's about indifference. Becoming indifferent towards a narcissist. You don't care. As a matter of fact, right? You won't be interested in watching videos like this anymore either, right? Sometimes I have no desire to make videos like this. As you notice, I go off and I do a bunch of other stuff, right? You can't keep dwelling on the negativity all the time. You can't, because it's gonna keep you in that place. If you want bigger and better things, you have to go after bigger and better things. You can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Oh yeah, I'm indifferent, but I hate that motherfucker. Okay, that's not indifference. It's not about talking about how indifferent you are and telling everybody, hey, guess what? I'm indifferent. Let's post it online. I'm indifferent. Right? I only said it to articulate my point in this video, right? But you don't want to go out and tell people, hey, I'm indifferent. You will notice when you're indifferent, when somehow, some way, their name pops up, or maybe you're watching a movie and it's a similar situation and someone throws the word psychopath or narcissist there. Obviously, it's your brain is going to remember. And you're like, and then you move on. How many situations have you guys been in since high school or before? Really traumatizing situations, because we all have, right? Maybe not as bad as this, hopefully not. But anything. There was a bully in school, right? Maybe you're getting detention and you were scared. Oh my God, I'm going to get detention. My parents are going to kill me, right? Or you hated a teacher. You were scared of that teacher. You thought they were going to fail you or whatever it was that would keep you up. I bet you're not thinking about that anymore. I bet you don't even remember. But there was a time that was all you thought about. There was a time that was your number one priority, was thinking about that, worrying about that, and you no longer do. And I can promise you, if you do the work, if you stay the course, if you really want to heal from this, if you really want to move forward, I mean, if you really want it, it will happen for you. But you have to want it. There was a time I thought I wanted it, early in my journey with monsters like these. I didn't really want it, It wasn't until I really drew that line in the sand and I made a deal with God. It's like, whatever I do from this moment on, it's going to serve my healing, and it's going to serve the cosmos and the universe, right, to guide me and direct me where I need to go. I surrender. I let this go. Drew that line in the sand. I made that commitment. Let's move forward. And that's when things started to change. Now they started to change 1% at a time, 0.5% at a time. It wasn't all at once. But deep down, I knew there was just something that just clicked. And I was like, okay, we're going this way now. This is what we're going to do. Does that mean that you don't have bad days? No, of course not. Does that mean that you no longer get triggered? No, from time to time you will. It's a psychological traumatic experience after all. but you're going after what you want, as opposed to running from what you don't want, because you can run away from something you don't want and accidentally run into something else that you don't want, because you didn't want that so badly that you had no idea that what you just walked into was far worse. But when you're going after what you do want, that's a different mindset. It comes with a different set of rules. And I can teach you that in my coaching program if you're willing to make the commitment to move forward. If you really want to take this situation and this experience and find the silver lining and say, hey, you know what, this sucks. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. But you know what, this happened for me. This happened for me. Okay? And we can't change the past. It happened. What can we do now with the life that I have left and with the resources I have left, with the experience that I've just gained, to turn this around and make something out of it? When life hands you lemons, you make lemonade, right? You know that cheesy saying? It's true. That's why it stood the test of time. That's why it's called a cliche. But everybody knows about it. Everybody's heard of it because it's true. So if that's what you really want, you can achieve it. You really can. But you're going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to stop doing certain things that right now you may be addicted to, that right now you may be conditioned to. You're going to have to stop doing those things. And the first one is you're going to have to stop keeping tabs on your narcissist psychopath ex. You're going to have to stop looking at their social media. You're going to have to stop asking people about them. You're going to have to stop texting them. You're going to have to stop allowing them to come back into your life and just talking to you like if nothing ever happened. You're going to have to stop entertaining their bogus Hoover attempts. If they do show up, let them stand in the rain. It's kind of like, have you ever been like at the mall and it's parking lot's packed and you get in the car and it's, I don't know, maybe it's really, really hot depending on where you live, or it's really, really cold, and you just want to chill in your car for like 5 or 10 minutes. You want to look at your phone. Maybe you have some work that you got to do. You got to call someone back. Maybe you just want to listen to some music. Maybe you just want to put on some meditative music. Maybe you want to put on this video and you just want to chill for like 10 minutes. But some desperate asshole is just camping behind you because they just cannot drive around and find a spot. They need to camp and wait until you pull up so that they can take your spot. Even though there's hundreds of other spots, they gotta camp behind you, and then they get irritated if you don't move. You know what I like to do in situations like that? I like to take my time. Oh, I saw you, asshole. But just because I'm getting in my car doesn't mean I'm leaving. As a matter of fact, I may just be in my car to get some AC because I'm waiting for somebody. Oh, no, they called me. I guess they're here. I get out of my car and I go meet up with them. Maybe I just came to my car to drop off some of the Christmas shopping that I did, right? And I want to take a breather. But these people are out there just waiting and waiting and waiting, right? And then they get pissed off at you if you don't do what they expected, right? They idealize, oh, I finally got a spot. Well, there's hundreds of other spots, right? Why don't you go find a spot that's vacant? You're going to camp behind somebody. You don't know what that person's doing. So that's kind of like my analogy for the day. It doesn't matter if the narcissist is texting you. It doesn't matter if they called you from another phone. Oh, Kita, they called me from another phone, so I answered. Why did you answer? You didn't know the number. It's 2023. Who the fuck calls you that's not on your contact list? Either a fucking psychopath or a spammer. Right? If you're expecting a call from somebody, you already have the number in your contact list. So why are you answering the phone? Oh, they emailed me on my work email. So That doesn't mean you have to respond. Doesn't mean you have to read it. I know that's harder for some of you. I don't read shit already. So it's the same thing. You don't have to read it. If it comes in, oh, fucking Psycho X, junk that shit. Done. Nothing good. There's nothing good waiting for you, right? Nothing good is going to come out of the phone call. Nothing good is going to come out of the text. Nothing good is going to come out of the email. It's just the brain is like, it wants that dopamine. It just wants that dopamine. It wants that dopamine. Oh, gotta check. No, you don't. No, you don't. Put the phone down, guys. You don't need to read the poison that your psychopath, narcissistic ex sends you after the horrendous shit they did to you. The choice is yours, of course, but you can keep trying and you're gonna get the same results. You're gonna get more pain and more suffering. So I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. Thanks again for submitting that comment. And yeah, it's true. We all went through this shit. We all try to break up many, many times. We all try to stop it. We couldn't at the beginning. There was a time that we never felt that we'd ever smile again. There was a time we never thought we'd enjoy a vacation again. There was a time we thought we wouldn't even enjoy watching a movie again, much less reading a book and getting through one page and remembering what you just read. But you can have all of that back and more. You just got to stay the course, and you have to make a commitment. You have to make that commitment. There's no going back. All right? You draw that line in the sand, and you take 2 steps forward. Not 1 step forward and 1 back, 2 steps forward. All right? Well, thanks again for watching, guys. My name is Kita. This is Psychopath Exposure. I hope to see you guys in the next video. All right, take care. Talk to you soon.